Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, I'm here tonight because I'd like to share with you that 9/11 hit me like a ton of bricks. What was a new age wannabe hippie going to do in a world that was totally unlike everything I believed up until that point? This was not the dawning of the age of Aquarius. To explain why it rocked my world, I need to back up for a few years. In the 1990s, it was a time of certainty. The world was just going to get better and better. One could only wonder what would happen January 1st, 2000. It would be a sparkling new day. Peace and love would guide the planets, and love would steer the stars. That's what I was still singing. In 1992, the Clintons had for their theme song for the election, "Don't stop thinking about tomorrow." I'm not a great singer, but the lyrics go, "It'll soon be there, better than before, yesterday's gone." And what happened? The first inkling that something was going wrong here was that Y2K non-event that happened. It struck fear in the hearts of many people, including my 83-year-old mother, who was afraid that the water wouldn't be able to pump to the house. So she got all of these gallon milk jugs and filled them up with water and kept them for years in the basement just in case the water wouldn't run. And I had this vision of all of these middle-aged hippies and younger New Age people filling up Times Square and watching that ball drop at 2000. Instead, I was holed up in the family room with my then boyfriend, who was from the National Guard, waiting for an emergency call because he was on call that night just in case something terrible happened. Once again, this is not how I envisioned the Aquarian age. But 9/11 was even worse. On that day, I was working at the VA hospital. And I saw doctors from around the world, doctors from India and different doctors, stop in dead tracks and gather with the patients to watch the scene unfold on the television. And it was unusual to see so many doctors stop the clinic and watching television, and it was incredible. We joined the others and watched that. Immediately I thought of my sister, who was in Italy. She was in Italy on her honeymoon. And she couldn't get home from her honeymoon because the planes wouldn't land in the United States. Well, feeling a bit overwhelmed by this whole thing, I felt like Princess Leia in Star Wars, who runs up to R2-D2 and puts in that message to go out into outer space. "Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're our only hope." I wanted the Force to be with us, to bring back the peace and light and love and put my paradigm back together, because my soap bubble was definitely burst at that point. So, had I been duped? Did I spend half my lifetime in this peace and love paradigm only to realize that I was walking around like Pollyanna? So I thought, no. Just as the Jedi Knights had to train for the special mission of the Force running through them, so too the people from the peace and love generation have had that training all these years of hugging strangers, the answers blowing in the wind, all of those things that made us who we are. This is the very time that we need to bring it out and use those talents, because if not us, then who? So I thought of 4 reasons why my peace and love paradigm should not be shook, and why it was especially needed now. The first reason was, as I said, we need the new Jedi Knights, and we need to resurrect them out of the baby boomers and all of the people who are now young retirees that have the time to do the volunteer work, to go out and to help people in the world. to bring them out and let them be the new Jedi Knights of this time. Now, in the Bible it says, neither do men light a lamp to put it under a bushel, but put it on the lampstand, so as to give light to all in the house. So feel the force and be the light bearer. That's number one. Number two is there was this little song that's sort of running in the background of my mind. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Well, the little light has a whole lot of darkness around it, with terrorism and fears of all type. But the one thing that you have to remember about the little light is Sandy's going to be talking to you later about the power of attraction. If you're the lighthouse that has the strongest beam to go out across the ocean is also the same lighthouse that has the most light right around it. So you cannot help but having the most light in your home, in your workplace, in your heart, in your joy, if you're projecting it to other people. So whether or not it reaches Iraq, it's going to light up your life and attract much positive feedback and connection with other people who are on the same wavelength as you. So it will bring you much happiness. Number three, if you take a look at the proportion of lighthouse type people to non-lighthouse type people, it looks like we're outnumbered. So do not let that get you down. Just how many of us do you think are needed to change the world? Perhaps not as many as you think. There is a concept called the 100th monkey. And for those of you who have never heard about it, there was an anthropologist who studied monkeys on certain tropical islands. And what happened was these monkeys were eating these yams with dirt and sand on them, and they liked the yams, but they were like kind of spitting the dirt and sand out. And what happened was a certain group of monkeys discovered that if they washed the yams, they could eat them and enjoy them better without having the dirt and sand on them. Once the 100th monkey understood how to wash the yams, all the monkeys, not only on that island but on other islands, got it. Somehow the collective consciousness of monkeys got it once the 100th monkey knew how to wash the yams. So maybe we are closer to that 100th monkey than you think. Number 4 is keep the faith. Now let's just suppose it's just you and no one else is trying this. Even one person working with God can change the world. Don't forget the saying, Father, into your hands I commend my spirit. With this simple statement of faith, one man transformed a miserable situation when all appeared to be lost, and he turned it into one of ascension. His failure lit up the world with hope, with joy, and he said, what he did, we all can do. But luckily, you're not alone. Millions of baby boomers and ex-peace and lovenicks are part of the peace and love generation, are here to be with you. So be a Jedi, be the 100th monkey, cause the tipping point to happen. The famous anthropologist Margaret Mead said, indeed, a small group of people could change the world. It is the only thing that ever has. I'd like to end this with just a very short snip of this song, because this song kind of cheered me up and it gave me an answer as to what to do now in life past 9/11.
Take up the sword.